Thank you for tuning into today's episode of Pattern. And today we're going to be talking about your intuition, trust, how to connect with that, to rewire your patterns, but also how to align and manifest that next level that you want for yourself, whether it's love, money, lifestyle, self worth, whatever it is. How anchoring into trust, embodying high self worth, and strengthening your intuition are three keys to help you get into alignment with what it is that you desire. So, this episode is going to be great for you if right now you're feeling a little stuck. Maybe you're navigating some transitions in life, or maybe you're just wanting to shift into a more softer, a more magnetic way of being when it comes to aligning and manifesting your love, money, and just overall self worth and wholeness. So, we're going to be diving into three key spiritual and energetic pillars that'll support your next level of living and also help you to rewire any patterns, any of those love loops that have been running the show and keeping you stuck in lower self worth behaviors or repeating patterns that no longer serve and align with the identity that you are shifting into and the life that you desire. So, if you are new to this episode, my name is Zara J, and I'm super excited to be with you today because I've been loving the podcast. I've been loving sharing all of this with you. And of course, the clients that I've been working with to do this deeper inner work and step into their next level. All of this has been an amazing experience for me. So, thank you guys so much for allowing me to help to assist you on this journey. So if you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to leave a podcast review. It goes so far on your podcast platform so that others can become a witness to this podcast and to this information, and we can continue to support each other, build community, and to do the work. Now, before we get into this episode, I just want to just suggest to you to check out the links in the show notes where you can get started on everything that we're going to talk about today. So first, you want to make sure that you take the love and money transformation quiz. This is our quiz that lets you know which of our signature 8 love loop archetypes is currently running the show for you. If you want to get clear on your patterns and how that's mirroring in love and money and your core pattern that you need to focus on to rewire and to shift, you want to take that quiz. It'll take a few minutes. It's going to ask you some really good questions, but make sure that you're really honest and transparent with yourself so that you can get the best answer for you. So you want to start with the quiz. Next, once you take the quiz, you're going to be invited to join our new Love and Money mini course. It's 100% free. It says it's a 5-day mini course, but you could probably get through it in like 90 minutes if you just really sit with it. But in that course, it's going to ask you some questions to get you started in thinking about what's actually keeping you from your next level of love and money so that you can start rewiring it. And we include a heart healing visualization to help you get in alignment with your next level self. So that's 100% free. Make sure that you go check that out and take some time, whether you take some time today or over the weekend. I love to do any of my inner work practices on Sundays. I have like my Sunday routine where I like to get up, start my day really fresh. I usually go out on my balcony. I'm so grateful for my balcony. I love my home. I love my apartment. I love my balcony. It just has great views, and it's always just great energy being able to go out on the balcony. And I sit out there and I'll have either some matcha or some coffee or some tea, and I will just spend time with my headphones on, going through whatever workshop inside the Love Loop portal that's a part of the Love Loft membership. That's like with the paid community, not the collective. But for the workshops, just whichever workshop I feel like I'm in need of at that moment, I go visit that workshop, work through the exercises, listen to the visualization, and it always helps me to do a good reset for the week. Now, throughout the week, I will revisit different visualizations that I need, even if I don't need to do the complete workshop. But if you're just getting started and if you're new to the portal, you're new to the exercises, do the workshops, like the questions in the full workshop, as many times as you need to help bring you clarity. And then throughout the week, you want to support yourself by continuing to do the visualizations. Best to do them when you're first waking up in the morning or before you're going to bed, or just anytime you're getting into a relaxed state. Maybe you're just relaxing midday, going to rest, or you just want to take a moment to breathe and reset. That's when it's great to do the visualizations. So use these as a part of your nervous system recalibration regularly, and you are going to see such a big shift in such a little bit of time. It's been great with my mentorship clients, seeing how much they value the visualizations and how much it helps them shift just in a matter of like a week or two. Just instantly they get clarity and a new level of awareness, and it's super powerful. So if you are not a member of the Love Loft, like an official member of the Love Loft of our Source membership, or you're not a Love and Money mentorship client, then I would suggest for you to start off with the free mini course. The link is in the show notes. So you can just get a little sample of what it's like to bring that level of awareness and clarity and to start to rewire your patterns. So for today's episode, whether you're attracting aligned relationships, maybe you're trying to improve your marriage or your current relationship, maybe you are trying to call in financial abundance, or simply just seeking a deeper sense of inner security, inner safety, then this conversation is for you. I've been really called to speak about trust. Trust has been a theme that's been coming up in sessions with clients and even on consultations this week. So I wanted to make sure that I created this episode to help you to understand how to anchor into trust. Learning how to trust and how to surrender has been one of the biggest game changers for me over the years. And trust is a muscle. So the more that you are able to work this muscle, build this muscle, rebuild your trust with yourself, rebuild your trust with your higher power. I don't care what you ascribe to for your higher power. You can say source, the universe, God, Allah, spirit. Like I don't care. Whatever that is for you. But the more you can learn to anchor into trust and surrender, the better you will be able to navigate your emotions. You'll be able to navigate the ups and downs of life, any setbacks, and the more you'll be able to make intentional, wise decisions that are in alignment with your next level. And this is so important because when you can slow down, and it's really hard, if you are a high achiever, if you're an entrepreneur, if you are someone that's always on a path of growth, you probably find yourself constantly in thinking mode or problem solving mode or over functioning. You're constantly trying to do, and you will take actions from that place. And that actually creates a lot of unnecessary challenges because you are trying to move things forward. You're trying to control things. You're trying to use pressure and force and hustle or anxiously attaching or any of these other patterns that actually are going to cause you to make decisions that work against you. So if you want to get into more flow, you want to connect more with the feminine, and it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, everyone has masculine and feminine energy. It's about the energy of receiving. That's the energy of the feminine. The masculine is the energy of doing. So even men need to embody their feminine energy in order to be more balanced. And women need to be in their feminine more in order to be more balanced. You need you need both. So when you are taking action, when you are, showing up in your career, your business, or even just anything that requires you to take action, yes, you're going to be in your healthy, you want to be in a healthy masculine that's connected to your self-worth. But you also need to balance it out with your feminine receiving. And being in your feminine receiving allows you to slow down and to connect and gain clarity and insight on what actions to take. So when you're tapping into your masculine, you're doing it in a balanced, healthy way that's going to allow you to take clear, intentional steps and not just overdoing and overfunctioning. So if you grew up maybe with a mother that operates more in her wounded masculine, she's always overfunctioning, always doing, very emotionally disconnected, or maybe you grew up with a father in that state, you're probably mimicking a lot of what you saw growing up and how you know to function. So the things that we talk about in this episode today, and the more you learn to embody them and rewire yourself in these areas, the easier you're going to be able to navigate life and make decisions that are going to get you to where you want to go in in better time. Like, you're going to be able to do it faster, and you're going to be able to do it with more ease. So when we're talking about anchoring in trust, it's not about just wishful thinking. Sometimes when people think about trust, they just do it from a very whimsical place of just like, yeah, I know I'm supposed to trust. Yes, I know I'm supposed to just let go, control. And it's not really rooted in a conscious decision to release control and rest in the flow of divine timing. Now, what is divine timing? It took me a long time to actually figure out what divine timing is. And I think that we're so programmed in this society to look at time and look at actions in a very chronological way that we don't understand what divine timing actually is. Divine timing is a lot more in your power than what you may think. Yes, you are working with your higher power, but you're co-creating with your higher power. So it's not just about praying and not taking action. It's not just about wishing and not taking action. It's about understanding who you need to be in order to align with what it is that you are asking for. So it's about your way of being. And the more you are able to trust and release control and focus on who you need to be in order to be in alignment with what it is that you desire, the faster you are able to receive what it is that's waiting for you. When I tell you, this has been one of the biggest shifts in how I've been operating and navigating life day to day, focusing on being instead of doing. It creates so much space for flow, for creativity, and to get in alignment with what it is that you desire. So we have to understand that divine timing is a combination of you being the right person at the right time for the right thing. That is how all these things come together and create divine timing. But it's your part. The part that you have to play is shifting your way of being. Now, when you're anchored in trust and you're anchored in surrender, your nervous system is going to shift from fight or flight into a regulated state that allows you to create more from a place of safety and security. When your nervous system is activated, you're going to find yourself in a space of anxiety or fight or flight mode, or even fawn or freeze. You're going to find yourself reacting instead of responding, which means that you're always going to be in a state of overwhelm, burnout, all those other emotions that are unproductive for who you actually need to become and how you need to show up. If you're trying to take action from a place of burnout or hustle or anxiety, maybe you're trying to connect with your spouse, or you're trying to attract a relationship from a place of anxiety and fear and scarcity, that's not the emotions that's going to allow you to take action and connect in a way that's going to get you what you actually desire. So learning to anchor and trust and regulate your nervous system is going to allow you to make the shifts that create safety in your body. Now, on a spiritual level, when we consider all of this, that trust is what activates faith in your higher power and allows you to move into a state of belief. This is something that just over my years of coaching, and I've been in the industry for a decade now, which is crazy and amazing to think about. I'm so grateful for it because it's given me a back seat of understanding people and really being able to pull back the layers and understand how people operate and what's the truth and how we typically navigate life. And for many, I don't care how religious you are, I don't care how spiritual you are, most people have a very, very hard time actually believing in what it is that they desire, or even just believing in themselves. So the more you're able to anchor into trust and you can activate your faith, the more you'll be able to make the decision. It has to be a conscious decision to believe that what you desire is actually available to you. Now, when we're talking about on an energetic level, trust is what clears anxiety from your space. It's going to allow you to soften your emotional body, and that makes it easier for you to receive. I want you to think about it like this. If your energy is frantic, I don't know if you've ever been in a room with someone who you can just sense that they're in a state of anxiety or overwhelm. I know this sometimes happens with my daughter, my lovely, beautiful, amazingly smart daughter. Love her so much. But with my daughter, sometimes she can just come into a room and without having to say a word, I'm like, why are you so anxious? I need you to create some space from me because I can feel your anxious energy and it's making me start to feel anxious. That transference of energy. And I'm like, what's going on? Hold on, take a breather, take some space because especially if I'm about to go into a meeting or a coaching session and I can't take on her anxious energy. Or here's another example. When teaching her how to drive, her anxiety will make me anxious, right? So I'll have to tell her, like, listen, we have to calm down, reset, because your anxiety I can feel the energy as soon as you enter the space. And when she's in that anxious space, you can't even think clearly. You can't receive clearly. You can't create. You can't do anything. You can't connect from the heart. You can't communicate from a place that's going to allow you to have ease. So if you want to create more space in your mind, in your heart, in your spirit, so that I want you to look at it like it's a tunnel. And when you're not anchored in trust and when you are in a high state of anxiety or fear or scarcity, it's like a clogged tunnel. So nothing can get through. Nothing can get through to you emotionally. You can have a conversation with your spouse or with your partner, but because of the fact that you are in a space of high anxiety or fear and scarcity, you can't even receive anything this person is saying. You can't connect from a deeper emotional level. If you're trying to get some work done or you're in a workplace or maybe it's in your business, you can't receive the clarity to create or to take the next step or knowing what you need to do because you're in such a place of fear and anxiety. So it's so important to learn how to anchor into trust so that you can clear the space and slow down, create the emotional space that you need and the energetic space that you need in order to receive whatever guidance, whatever intuitive little hit, whatever action it is, or emotional connection, intimate connection that you need to receive. When trust is missing, you're naturally going to start showing up and operating from a place of fear, overgiving, over planning, or attaching to emotional outcomes that's going to actually cause more chaos in your life. So the practice that I want you to do, and one of the first things I want you to start embodying when it comes to activating trust and anchoring into your trust muscle, is learning how to ground into the present. I want you to start letting go of when is this going to happen or how is it going to happen, and decide to choose peace over panic. I want you to just be where you are right now, be in a state of gratitude, be present with what is actually going on right now, what is actually in your control, what is actually working, and who do you need to become in this moment to be in a state of grounded presence. When you can shift into this state and just be in the moment, slow down, be in the moment, focus on where you are right now, you will be able to release and let go. You're going to stop focusing on the when and the how and start focusing on just simply being in the moment, being fully present, and who would you need to be in order to be in a state of trust? What would you need to believe? Now, the next thing that you have to do to anchor into this is learning to embody high self-worth, really activating a frequency of worthiness. It's not your role to perform. You don't need to seek validation. When you're operating from a place of ego, then you're not operating from a place of high self-worth. It's about knowing your value and no longer negotiating with your standards, with your boundaries, or what it is that you desire. So let me give you a really quick example. Oftentimes when I'm doing consultations, and I would even see this with captivating courtship, oftentimes when I'm doing consultations, if I ask someone what is it that they want, they have a very hard time taking full ownership. If you have a hard time taking full ownership of what you want, it's because a part of you doesn't actually believe that you are worthy and deserving of it. Here's another example. oftentimes when I'm working with women, especially in a relationship realm, especially over at Captivating Courtship, what I'll notice is I'll have a woman who is struggling with meeting men. Maybe she has been single for a while. Maybe she's been getting to know a man and he's not showing up in a way that she desires. And I'll have to ask her, well, let's consider this. What are you entertaining right now? So if you are entertaining someone and it's not the type of relationship that you want, they're not showing up in a way that you actually desire. Um, Maybe they don't want the same things that you want, but you're still putting all your attention, all your energy into that relationship or trying to get that person's attention. What that's really saying on a deeper level is that you believe that that's what you deserve. You believe that that person who's not emotionally available or not ready or not willing to commit, or maybe it's something in the workplace. It could be something financially. Maybe you don't like your job or you know that you could be making more money, but right now you've been stuck in struggle mode and you have a hard time breaking past that, and you're swinging between this feast or famine mode or this emotional roller coaster where you have these high highs and your low lows and you can't figure out why you aren't able to shift out of that. Well, that's because you're not making decisions that's aligned with your higher self-worth. You're still choosing to negotiate your standards. You're choosing to negotiate your boundaries. You're choosing to negotiate your desires, and you haven't fully decided that you get to have what you want, that you are worthy and deserving of it. So instead, you're showing up with low self-worth patterns, you're people pleasing, or you're staying in misaligned relationships. Maybe you're undercharging. Maybe you're not asking for a raise or going after bigger job opportunities. Maybe you're not opening up new avenues to bring in money. Maybe there's something in your lifestyle. Maybe you want to buy more expensive clothing or move to a bigger home or to a new city or whatever those things are. You just simply are holding yourself back and you can't figure out why. It's because underneath, there's some underlying beliefs and feelings that you do not deserve the things that you desire. Now, when I'm unpacking this in coaching, well, I don't really like to call it coaching. I really look at it more like guided sessions. But when I'm guiding someone through this, when I'm working with them specifically in a love and money mentorship, oftentimes what comes up when we're doing the exercises, we're having our conversations, and doing these visualizations, things that come up from childhood, from years back, are where these beliefs started. And so just think about it. If you have some beliefs that you developed at age 7, at 13, at 15, wherever in life you took on these beliefs about what you're worthy and deserving of, and they're still showing up and running the show. How many years of your life have you been holding yourself back and not freeing yourself to take the necessary actions that's aligned with the highest version of yourself? You're not stepping into your worthiness and your deservingness. When you're embodying worthiness, you're not going to chase, you're going to focus on attracting, you're not going to settle, you're going to focus on selecting, you're going to get decisive about what it is that you actually desire and choose to make decisions from that place. Now, if you're unaware, science actually backs this. When we think about self-concept through psychology, it's how we subconsciously act in a way that matches our inner beliefs about what we deserve. How you're showing up, how you perceive yourself, your self-concept is a reflection of what you believe you deserve and who you see yourself as. So take a little bit of inventory. Take some time to think about, how am I showing up? Where am I settling? Where am I playing small? Where do I need to detox in my life? Just last week, I sat and spent my morning last Thursday. I did a call on Instagram and I said, hey, if you're watching this, I'm going to invite you to detox today. Just do a complete detox. I did it. I called on my friends to do it. But to really take a moment and sit down, journal, write out, what do you need to release? Are there people you need to release? Are there emotions you need to release? Beliefs you need to release? Wardrobe. Is there things in your closet? Maybe there's old clothing, old shoes, things in your home. Maybe it's your car. Maybe it's your job, right? Parts of your business. Things that reflect and represent the old version of you that are now outdated, that you no longer need to hold on to, that you no longer believe to be true, that it's time for you to shift into the next version. You have to let those things go. In order for you to step into a new level of worthiness, you have to redesign this next level of life based upon who you need to become and what it is that you need to align with. Just think about if every single time you're navigating life and you're moving to that next level, the next level, you're constantly in a state of evolving, which means that you're constantly having to release and let go. If you have a fear of letting go or you're super attached to the past, you're never going to be able to fully embody and break those patterns for the level that you actually want to be on. So let's just say you want to make, I don't know, let's just say 100K and you've never made more than 60K. Well, there's a version of you that you need to be in order to be someone that makes 100K. There are different decisions. There's a different way you're going to carry yourself. You're not going to dress the same. You're not going to shop in the same place, some of the same places, right? Some things may change, but some things may also change when you hit that next bracket, when you hit that next income level, right? What your home life looks like, what your social life looks like, the decisions that you had to make in order to become that version of yourself is different than the decisions that you had to make to become the 60K version of yourself. If you're scared and you're unwilling to take those steps and you're like, why do I keep being stuck? Why are things not happening? It's because you haven't shifted how you see yourself and you haven't stepped fully into your worthiness. Your worthiness is what's going to align you with high quality opportunities and deeply satisfying relationships, partnerships, collaborations, job opportunities, making more money, enhancing your lifestyle. It's all going to be a reflection of what do you believe you're worth. Listen, you have to get very clear, very intentional about what it is that you want. Whatever is going on in your life right now that's a reflection of something that you don't desire or something that you've outgrown, it's simply because you have decided that this is what you are worth. If you're not happy with your home life, if you're not happy with the quality conditions of your apartment or your home or your relationship, maybe there's something about your physical appearance, whatever it is, your finances, whatever it is a reflection of what you believe you are worthy of. So you have to be willing to really take a look and get under those layers, to be really honest with yourself, be in deep integrity with yourself about what is it that you are telling yourself, what is it that you believe that you're deserving of, and what do you need to start believing and aligning with. So just notice where you compromise, where you feel like these patterns keep showing up. Find where you keep choosing over and over again an old identity or an old pattern or old belief that no longer serves you. This is going to be a little breadcrumb, a little key for where you need to shift out of wounding and into worth. The third thing that we're going to cover and what you need to focus on and double down in this area is strengthening your intuition, learning how to listen to that intuitive inner voice of your higher self. When you are connected to your intuition, your body knows, your heart knows, your spirit knows what it is that you desire. It's connected to that divine guidance that speaks to you through sensation, a deep knowing, and those little emotional nudges that guide you into where you're trying to go, into that next level, into the relationship, into the money you want to make. You have to learn to dial into that and really, really listen to it. The more you strengthen your intuition by stillness, softness, opening up your heart space, opening up your receiving energy, you're going to realize that your intuition, it can't be forced, it's going to be felt. You're just going to know. And the more that I connect with my intuition personally, it can get scary. It can feel like, am I being a little delusional? Do I really know what I think I know? But this is where you have to trust. When you have that strong desire, a strong feeling in your body, that is for you. That is your higher self. That is divine intervention guiding you and saying, hey, this is a direction. You've been asking for this. You've been praying for this. You've been wanting to manifest this for however long. You have to trust that if you have that desire, that is for you. I was telling a client recently, she's going for a greater job opportunity in her career field. And she was a little nervous because after being on the edge and thinking for some time about taking this next step, and holding herself back from making more money, from bigger job opportunities, all of the things. And we had to do some unblocking about why she's been holding herself back from making the type of money that she wants to make, from having the type of love, all those things. We worked through that. But I was telling her that if this is something that you desire, you have to trust that that desire is for you, because I don't desire that thing. I don't desire it. I don't desire that career field. I don't desire that job opportunity. Even when she painted her vision of love, when she got clear on her vision of love and the things that she mentioned and the type of moments that she wants to spend with her partner, I'm like, that is for you. That is a unique vision for you. You have to trust that. You have to make decisions that are in alignment with that. You have to be willing to go for that and do the unblocking, do the, rewiring that's going to allow you to release whatever old beliefs, whatever old patterns are keeping you from that, because it is simply for you. Everyone is given their own assignment, they're given their own vision, and it is unique to you. No matter how close you may think it is to someone else's, you have your own special sauce, you have your own special touch that makes it unique to you, and you have to trust that. So if you have this deep knowing, if you have this strong desire for something, that is because it is available to you and your higher self knows it. Listen to your intuition and let that guide you. But if you're not able to slow down and trust and open up your heart space and open up your receiving energy, you're going to constantly bounce back between anxiety and deep knowing. And oftentimes people ask me, well, how do I know if it's my intuition or is it anxiety? I like to look at it like your anxiety is all in your head. It is anxious, it's urgent, it's panic, it's fearful. I look at it like it's a red light, right? It's like red lights flashing, warning, warning. It's very intense type of energy. Your intuition is in your belly. It is in your gut. It is that deep knowing. It is calm, and it is more of a guiding light than it is a red light. So if you feel a level of calmness, if you're able to tap into your gut, into your intuition, and studies have proven that so by simply following your gut, you are 90% more likely to make a decision that's correct for you. It's not necessarily going to be the right decision across the board, right? But it's going to be the correct decision for you. So you have to trust, just learn to silence, to be in stillness, to slow down, get out of your head and drop into your body and connect with your intuition. The more that you strengthen this, the more you're going to ignite your body's gateway to a regulated nervous system that allows your emotions and your intuition to be heard. When you're in a dysregulated state or you're disconnected from it, you're going to be showing up in urgency and anxiety and fear and scarcity and doubt. So learning to strengthen this trust muscle, connecting with your intuition through trust and honoring yourself. Personal integrity and consistency is so big. If you are someone who you struggle to trust, if that's something that's really, really difficult for you, I can bet you break a lot of promises to yourself. You make a lot of decisions out of self-betrayal. You're not deeply honest with yourself. You're not deeply authentic with yourself. So your own personal integrity is at question. The more you are honest with yourself and be really, really authentic with who you are and your desires, you release the shame, you do the shadow work, you release the guilt, you get to the root of who you are and you embrace yourself in totality. You allow yourself to be really honest and sincere, and you're not afraid to be seen. You're not afraid to emotionally connect. When you step into that space, you are going to be able to reinforce your trust muscle and learn to have more personal integrity and consistency that allows you to trust yourself more. When you do this, then your intuition is going to become more of a sacred tool that allows you to navigate life from a place of ease and flow. Even when you look at just the neuroscience of it all, your subconscious pattern is all about your recognition. And the more that you are able to get into alignment and you are able to create new patterns, new grooves in your brain that allows you to say, okay, wait, this is possible. Wait, I can take these actions. I do believe that this is available to me. I do trust myself. I'm repeating this pattern over and over again that shows me I am capable. This is available to me. I'm seeing examples of whatever it is desire. Let's say you desire a certain type of marriage and you're meeting people or you're reading things or on YouTube, wherever it is that you are getting these examples that this is possible. Is creating a new thought pattern in your brain of what you desire and your ability to trust your intuition that you can have it too. So every day, I want you to just start to slow down, do daily check-ins with your body, just sit in quiet reflection, sit in stillness. Start off with just 5 minutes. If you're not able to sit for long, sit for 5 minutes. Gradually move that up to 10 minutes to 15 minutes. If you are a member of the Love Loft, if you're a Source Love member or the Love and Money Mentorship member, start using your visualizations every day if you desire, at least 3 or 4 days a week in order for you to rewire. Just connect with these visualizations, because just by simply using the visualizations, if you have a hard time with meditation, if you have a hard time with stillness, the visualizations will help you connect to it and provide that time and a space for that. But by learning how to differentiate the difference between fear and inner guidance, being in your head and your anxiety, listen to the calmness and the flow of your intuition, you are going to be able to build the trust muscle to align and manifest and step into your next level. All of this comes together and integrates when it comes to heart healing and pattern rewire. And one of the most powerful ways to access all three of this, whether it's your trust, your self-worth, or your intuition, is through intentional heart healing. Changing your patterns, rewiring, opening up your heart space so that you're able to receive whatever guidance, love, money flow, because love and money mirror each other. They run on the same frequency. So the more that you're able to tap into this heart space, the more you're going to be able to step into a place of abundance and align with that next level. At the Love Loft, we use heart healing visualizations to help you release those deeper emotional imprints, soften your inner resistance, and rewire any limitations that are showing up when it comes to your love loop patterns. As you clear out the grief, the fear, the scarcity, the anxiety, any of the shame, guilt, anything that's causing your heart space to just feel clogged up, that's not allowing you to create the ease and flow, you're going to be able to be open to more ease, more safety, more trust. And this is what makes manifestation and aligning with your next level feel effortless. You're going to be focused more on becoming and aligning, less on doing, hustle, anxiously attaching, force, pressure, control, any of those things. If this is something that you want to experience, as I said earlier in the episode, I would highly suggest for you to start off with experiencing one of our heart healing visualizations. Go to the Love and Money Expansion mini course and work through the workshops. Do not skip the questions. Go through it very intentionally and allow yourself to be fully present with yourself. This is a moment of stillness. Journaling really can help you to create moments of stillness. When you do this and you start to rewire these patterns, you start to bring a new level of awareness, you're going to see just how quickly you're going to start to shift into receiving more love, more money, more wholeness. So thank you so much for tuning in today. Just to recap, remember, trust, worth, and intuition, they are not separate. They all work together and they all intertwine to create shifts that align your energy, your intuition, your way of being with the frequency of love, money, and your next lifestyle alignment. When you commit to doing this work and you really commit to doing the inner work, rewiring your patterns, you're going to experience less force, more flow, less self-doubt, less control, and step into alignment. And the more you become available for this and what's meant for you without chasing, proving, or settling, the more you are going to feel free to have the things that you desire in life and bring them in with quickness, okay? And that's really what I want for you. I didn't mean to snap, but that's what I really want for you. So thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure that you check out the links in the show notes. Share this episode with a friend. And if you have any questions about this, feel free to reach out to the Love Loft on Instagram. I'll be sure to answer any questions that you have or send an email. All the information and links will be in the show notes. Just focus on shifting your patterns, and we'll talk to you again soon.